Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the tease in my life, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome.
Welcome back. All right, give it a stretch. Oh, that's good. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so I did a little bit of the social media post-radio show stuff. I got like one account done. I got like 3 more or something. Social media, whatever. Okay, so, and then I've been thinking on how to attach that thing. I don't know. The thing I found online is like it'll make it vertical, and I think I just need to like rotate it 90 degrees so I'll have space to put it next to it. But I'm worried about the vibrations that it might knock it over. That's the problem. So I think I gotta see how the base is, because there's like slots and so in the thing, and so I should be able to zip tie it so it doesn't fall over. Hopefully, I think we'll see. I would rather try and get it to the top of it so it's not attached at all. Like, well, this thing, I don't know. We'll see. So I'm gonna try and figure that out. All right, cool. But for now, figure we'd take a look at something that I've been meaning to talk about, but I've just been busy, and so with work and like random projects and things. So, but I saw this happen, so I'm like, yeah, I might as well talk about it now. So I want to talk. I'm post a link to it, so it'll be next to the recording of the video, so you can check it out for yourself. But I've been talking about this framework for a minute. I'm a big fan of it. And so what we're going to talk about is that Astro has hit 6.0. It's pretty dope. I've been playing around with Astro. Normally, I'll do stuff with frameworks once they reach like 3.0 and beyond. I'm not trying to really be like especially if I'm building something that I want to like keep working on. I don't want to have to keep going through and trying like messing around with the foundation, the framework. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, like Svelte was like 3.0, I think, when I first messed around with it. And then I had like Sapper, but then Sapper was going away, and they didn't really have like a replacement for it for a little bit. And that's when I came across Astro, and I was like, oh, I could use Svelte components inside of it. And so I've just been building a bunch of stuff on Astro since then. It's been pretty cool. And so to see 6.0 happening, that's pretty dope. So shouts to Astro for reaching 6.0. So I figured take a look at some of the things that you got here. So and now since what happened, they actually are part of Cloudflare now. And so you'll see more like Cloudflare like integrations and things. So like they mentioned here, like Cloudflare workers. But yeah, so Astro 6 is here. Astro 6 introduces a broad set of new capabilities, including a built-in fonts API, which is interesting, content security policy API. All right. So if you're building like sensitive things, you can do that. That's pretty dope. And support for live content collections that work with your externally hosted content through the unified Astro content layer. Now, I've never really done too much with like content collections, really. I think I did it when I was playing around with the database solution, you know what I'm saying? But normally what I do is, because what I like about Astro, I never really used it for like static site generation. I've used it so all the information is like, it's sent down, you know what I'm saying, like HTML, CSS. And then what I'll do is I have like an endpoint where I'm getting the data from. So it could be like a database or whatever, or just like inside of Astro, and just make a call, like a fetch call to it, and then have that populate everything. And Astro has it to where you could do that inside of the like the fencing that they have at the top. I forgot what they call that, but like you can populate, you can make a fetch call for the data and then put that in there, and that's like generated, so it all comes out like HTML, CSS. So that's the way I've been doing it. Never really played around the content collection, but I guess if you have like a separate CMS that people are working on things. I guess that's how that would work. Again, I never really had to play around with it. So alongside these new features, we also completed a major refactor of the Astro dev server and much of the build pipeline. All right. Powered by Veet's new environment API, Astro can run your exact production runtime during development. Okay. That means fewer works in dev, breaks in prod, surprises. Yeah, I was having like issues with like Cloudflare. So it's cool to see that they're now part of Cloudflare and hopefully get that all worked out. Because I'm not sure what it was. I think it was the version. I was using like an online IDE, and I guess maybe the versions weren't matching because I was using like another online IDE and it worked. It was weird, but so hopefully that'll get worked out. Especially on non-Node JS runtimes like Cloudflare Workers, Bun, and Dino. All right. So they have all the things here. So a new redesigned Astro Dev. All right. Upgraded some packages. All right. Got a Rust compiler, queued rendering. Interesting. Route caching. All right. And community. That's cool. Big fan of the community. All right. So one more thing. Astro 6 includes an experimental new Rust compiler, which it says there. The successor to our original Go-based .astro compiler. All right. It's still early. I wonder why they went from Go to Rust. I don't know. It's still early, but the results are already impressive. And in some cases, even more reliable than our current Go compiler. Okay. We'll continue to invest in Rust-powered tooling throughout the 6.x release line to improve performance and scalability for large sites. Yeah, I have a friend who works like for a university, and like their whole like university site is built on Astro, and so they have like a CMS that they interface with or something like that. So I'm gonna ask them about the live content thing next time I see them at a meetup, and see if they're implementing that and seeing how they do it. Because because the way it was before is like people would make changes and like the whole site would have to rebuild. But I think they got like the incremental thing working now with Astro, to where it's just a lot quicker, something like that. So pretty dope. And you can upgrade. So what's cool, Astro has this like npx Astro JS upgrade, and it'll go through and upgrade all the different like dependencies. I've been using Starlight for a project, and so Starlight is like the documentation part of Astro. And when I update stuff, I just do like Astro JS upgrade. It'll upgrade like all the dependencies for like Starlight as well too. So that's pretty dope. Redesigned Astro Dev. Okay, so the Astro Dev server was really built for Node.js. And for most Astro users, that worked great. But non-Node runtimes like Cloudflare Workers, I think that's where I was running issues, because it would give me some weird error. I'm not sure, but then again, I would go to another thing and it would work. I don't know. So like Cloudflare Workers, Bun, with Bun yet, but Dino's pretty traction. That assumption became a blind spot. Developers targeting these platforms had no way to run their actual production runtime during development. Yeah, so I think that's what my issue was, because whenever I would like try to put it was terrible. So the behavior you saw locally didn't always match what you shipped. All right, so now, all right, they're using Veet. All right, cool. I want to talk about some Veet stuff too. Maybe next time. So now you can now run a custom runtime environment during developments. All right, interesting. The dev server and build pipeline now share the same code paths, unifying your development experience with production. Okay, that's cool. So so for Cloudflare users like I am, this gap was especially painful. That's what I was talking about. The dev server ran on Node, but production ran on Cloudflare's Workerd runtime. Yeah, so bugs only showed up after the deploy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then Cloudflare bindings like the K. I've never really played around with the KV D1 R2 durable objects. I've never really messed around those, but they weren't available during development at all. You were coding blind and hoping it would work in production. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, again, my stuff has been, I try to keep it as vanilla as possible, so that way it works pretty much anywhere. And so I was just creating like API endpoints in Astro, and so that way, regardless of where I deployed it to, it would just like work. You know what I'm saying? I was just making like fetch calls because they're just like regular things. So, but yeah, so I've never really, with that, I never really played around with the different things available in Cloudflare. All right, the rebuilt Astro.js / Cloudflare adapter. Yeah, because this one, I don't think it was updated for a while, and so it was kind of like breaking. Because I think Astro was doing it first, and then I think Cloudflare took it over, and then it kind of like wasn't updated or something. I don't remember, but it was that was kind of painful. I think that's one of the reasons why I used it just so I could get the thing deployed. I think, but I never used the full capabilities of like Cloudflare because of that. Adapter runs down worker D at every stage: development, pre-rendering, and production. Okay, you develop directly against Cloudflare's platform APIs. All right, using Cloudflare workers with full access to your bindings locally. No more simulation layers and no. See, I was using this Astro Locals runtime in order to. I had like a script or something, and I was building something to where I wanted people to deploy it wherever, and so I would have a script that would check. All right, is your environment variables in this file or like this file, or I would check for this variable or something. It was terrible. But so, all right, cool. Because yeah, some people like use like Vite directly for the environment variable. There's a lot. All right, and they have a built-in fonts API. That's cool. So let's see if you wanted to. Oh, so I wonder what it has. Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Almost every website uses custom fonts. Mine don't. I just use whatever. But getting them right is surprisingly complicated. There are performance trade-offs, privacy concerns, and a dozen small decisions that are easy to get wrong. Normally, I would just go to like Google Fonts and see which one loads the quickest. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then if I'm going to do a custom font, but most of the times, no. Astro 6 adds a built-in fonts API that takes care of the hard parts for you. So you configure your fonts from local files or providers like Google and Font Source. Okay, so, all right, so just do it. Okay, I wonder how you configure for Google. And Astro handles the rest, downloading and caching for self-hosting, generating optimized fallbacks, and adding preload links. That's dope. Keeping your site fast and your users' data private. All right. To get started, configure a fonts object with one or more of the fonts you'd like to use in your project. Oh, okay. So yeah, so you'd have the font providers, and I guess you'd have like a Google. All right. So fonts. So yeah, font source. I wonder why Roboto I thought was like a Google font, but they're using font source. Interesting. Then add a font component to styling wherever you need it. Okay. So that's how you do the CSS variable. Interesting. Yeah, so you set it here, CSS variable. Oh, so you name it. Okay. Interesting. Okay, and they have the preload tag. Okay. And if it's global, okay, so they're using CSS variables. That's interesting. Okay. I wonder if you could have multiple fonts here, like multiple CSS variables. I wonder if they talk about that. Oh, okay, there's more in the fonts guide. I'll check that out later. All right, here we go. The live content collections. All right. So live content collections are now stable in Astro 6, bringing request time content fetching to Astro's unified content layer. Yeah, see, I've never really messed around with the content layer before. I've just been fetching data and putting it into my markup, my HTML. Content collections have been a core part of Astro since 2.0, but they've always required a rebuild. Yeah, when content changed. I think maybe that's what my friend was running into. I think in order to have like things show up, live content collections fetch content at request time instead. Basically, kind of like how in the fenced area, which I forgot what they call that, I do a fetch there. But I guess with this, you can just okay, yeah. So you have like a CMS loader. Yeah, see, I never had like a CMS thing. Right. I remember define collection when I was playing around with the Astro database stuff, which I thought was pretty cool, but never had to really do it before. Using the same APIs with no rebuild step required. Your content updates the moment it's published without touching your build pipeline, so you don't have to rebuild it. That's cool. That means CMS content, API data, and editorial updates all go live instantly. So whenever the page loads, it just loads it from there. That's cool. Okay. All right, so to use the live, okay, yeah, so I guess you have to define live collection, and I think the name probably has to be live.config.ts. So you can't change that. Make sure it's live.config.ts so that Astro knows that you're trying to do that. Okay. Oh, okay, so I guess there's an API key for that CMS that you're using so that you're able to pull the stuff in. Okay. That's cool. And then you have all the updates and you have it in your collections there. And then you can query live content in your page with built-in error handling. So from Astro Content, get live entry. And then you're going to call get live entry with the updates from that parameter slug that you pass in through the thing. And then if there's an error or there's no update that came back, here, all right, then you redirect to a 404. Interesting. But if you do have an update, then you can get like the data title, the excerpt, okay, and the published at, which came from here, title, excerpt, and the slug and the published at. All right. Okay. All right. So live content collections use the same familiar APIs as build time collections, get collection, get entry. Yeah. So they just have like live in front of them now. Yeah. Define live collection and then get live entry. Okay. Schemas, loaders. All right. So there's no new mental model to learn. If your content needs real-time freshness, define a live collection with a live loader, and your content goes live on every request. So you just make some fetch to it, I guess. All right. If it doesn't, keep using build time collections for best performance because it'll build everything you need at build time. So it's like a static joint. Both can coexist in the same project. Oh, that's cool. You can learn out more. And it's content security policy. You want to check that out? Cool. Upgraded packages. So they have Veet 7, Shiki 4, which is like the code highlight stuff. Zod 4, okay, for like schema validation and stuff. Interesting. AstroSync now requires Node 22. All right. Oh, so it dropped support for Node 18 and 20. Oh, so that's going to be important if you need to do that. So Node 22 is faster, more secure, and let us drop polyfills for older Node versions. All right. Resulting in a smaller, more maintainable package and better performance in Astro across the board. So if you're running on like certain like platforms and you have it, I think I ran into that. I was doing something and it wasn't working. Yeah, I think one of my projects I upgraded and then it was like, hey, your node is old or something like that. And it's like, all right, so I upgraded it to Node 22 and everything seemed to work. So yeah, make sure whatever you're hosting stuff on, make sure it's supporting Node 22. Otherwise, you'll run into issues. There's the Rust thing, experimental queued rendering. Oh, it's up to 2 times faster rendering. All right. Today, Astro renders components recursively. Rendering functions call themselves as they walk the component tree. All right. Queued rendering replaces this with a 2-pass approach. The first pass traverses the tree and emits an ordered queue. Then the second pass renders it. Okay. The result is both faster and more memory efficient. And we plan to make it the default rendering strategy in Astro 7. Okay. So I guess it runs through, see what's there, and queues it up, and then it will do it. So instead of, I guess, like going through and rendering and queuing, I mean, not even queuing, but it's like rendering as it hits things. It doesn't really know what's coming, so things, I guess, take longer. But where you can like see everything, and then maybe you can make decisions on what to render. I don't know. So you check out more if you want to learn more about that there. And route caching. All right. Cool. And then shouts to everybody in the community. That's dope. All right. So yeah, shouts to Astro. I wonder if they have any new stuff. Let me check their blog. I wish there was a thing at the top. I don't have to keep scrolling. Blog. Let's see if there's anything new. Oh, there's a 6.1. Okay, damn. All right. Oh, some image stuff there. I've never even heard of Smarty Pants configuration. Okay. All right, so there's a lot of stuff happening in Astro, so that's cool to see. Because there was like a break at one point. I'm like, what's up with Astro? It looked like they were working on the whole Cloudflare situation. So, but yeah, shouts to Astro. Good stuff. Looking forward to building more stuff with them. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thank y'all for hanging out. I'm going to send y'all off with some traveling music. I need to finish up this post-radio show promo stuff because I really need to get to this thing. But when we come back, we'll take a look at our artist's website, listen to some music, watch some videos, maybe become a fan. And until then, here's a track from a talented artist that goes by the name of A Butter. The track Well, he used to go by A Butter. He's now known as, from I think he was in the group Natural Elements, if I remember correctly. He now goes by Anthony Cruz. And the track's called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. See you like 15 minutes after the hour. Till then, I wish you much productivity. All right, y'all be easy. And thanks. Peace.
I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there. When a brother had nowhere to turn to, you were there. And I feel like, yeah. And everybody says, yeah. We spread love like, yeah. I want to say thank you for holding on. When a brother was down and out, now I feel so strong. And I want to say thank you for being there. When a brother had nowhere to turn to, you were there. And I feel like, yeah. And everybody said,